Brazilian Cup fever in today's episode. Well, it's part 18 in this series, and I think we should have a little look at how averagely we've been playing. Yes, I know, I'm a very hard taskmaster. So 7 games played since you were last with me, and I would like to say it was all shiny green dots. We are actually doing okay in the league. I think it's another one of those seasons in Brazil where there's so many games to play, so many cup competitions to play in. Most teams are very up and down, and I did say in the last episode we were a bit like a yo-yo, up and down. I think most teams are. So even though we've not got wins in every game, we're still doing very well. We'll have a look at the league in a second. The take home from that, actually, if you look there in the away goals column, is we've actually done all right. We've only 2 games we've conceded none, and 4 games we've conceded 1. But we've had Diego in goal. As you know, Everson was injured, but he came back from his injury, so I thought, right, let's put him back in again. And we won a game 4-3, but he conceded 3 goals. So I don't know. Am I beginning to think it is the goalkeeping problem? I don't know. Fortunately, we managed to get a winner in that game, and we won it 4-3. Diego went back in goal and then kept a clean sheet, and we won that one 3-0. But today we've got 2 games against Grêmio, and as per usual, it's 2-legged Brazilian Cup quarter-final. The first leg's at home, the second leg's away from home. I would have liked it the other way around. We all know how cup competitions work, but it is what it is. The first division game that is there, we'll play that off camera. But we're going to get stuck into the Brazilian Cup today and see if we can get ourselves into the semi-final. We'll see you in the dugout. Oh, and before I forget, I did promise the league table. We sat in second place at the moment, 15 played, 30 points. So we have dragged ourselves up the league, and we are in contention for that top spot. We have actually got a game in hand on the Corinthians. So it's a nice place to be in. But anyway, let's get stuck into this cup game. And wouldn't you know it, you can never predict Football Manager. Or maybe you can, actually. I mean, I've just been singing Diego's praise. A goalkeeper. I am actually going to have to bring Everson back in for the next game now, because Diego's got a gash leg. Wouldn't you know it? 10 to 13 days on the sideline, and we're coming into an important cup game. Oh my word, sometimes you could write a script for Football Manager and you'd be absolutely bob on. Unbelievable. And I promise we will get to this game very shortly. Gobby Gaffer scoops June Manager of the Month, so very, very nice there. I always like getting, Manager of the Month, because it's a nice little accolade. And it means your team are doing quite well, which we are. I know, I did say we'd been playing very averagely. Averagely? Is that a word? It is now. But I am a very hard taskmaster. But that's a nice little award there. June Manager of the Month. Yes, I know, every time you come back there's a different formation. It can't be helped. I did say I wasn't going to mention the I word, but I can't help it. Injuries are just off the scale. Every single injury we get, it's not, even a week would be okay. It's 4 or 5 weeks, and you've just seen there Diego heaping loads of praise on him. What happens? He's out, so I've had to bring Everson back. I was playing with 2 strikers. Andre Luiz got quite a nasty injury, I think 4, 5, 6 weeks. So playing with 2 strikers wasn't a great idea. Although, to be fair, I have got João Victor playing with Castro today. But I do feel that João Victor plays better coming from a bit deeper. He had a brilliant assist in the last game and just fed Castro, and Castro planted it in the back of the net. They do play very well together, but I always feel João Victor is better as that shadow striker coming from a bit deeper. So the team today is Everson in goal. I've made him a sweeper keeper on support. Can we get a tune out of Everson? I don't know. Back 4 of Lucero, Segovia, Garces and Rocha. The anchor is Castillo. Segundo Volante is Fernando, and then we've got Bruno Lamas, João Victor and Yanderson playing just behind Castro, who is a little bit disappointing this season, if I'm honest. He's not scored that many goals. Fortunately, we are scoring goals. This team is, I've said it before, this team scores goals from all over the pitch, and it's a good job because I can't get a striker to score, well, a striker's amount of goals in a season. It's a bit worrying, if I'm honest. So 5 minutes on the clock, Castillo gets a chance to... I mean, our free kicks are just abysmal. My heart sinks when I get a free kick because I just know they're not going to go in the back of the net. This game certainly knows what it's doing, doesn't it? You know, it's... I mean, I've just made a video, you know, kind of saying what I want out of FM25. And this silly computer gamey stuff where it's continually throwing curveballs and levels of difficulty at you really needs sorting out. So the game knows, you know, your most important players. Bruno Lamas is probably the most important player in the team, but I just can't keep him fit. The game's just injuring him all the time. Okay, we've reached the half-hour mark, and Gremio do get a highlight. And we have to hope that this one, their first highlight of the game, doesn't actually hit the back of the net. And fortunately, it doesn't. Everson was glued to his goal line then. Didn't move for that one at all. Another free kick. This one, though, is going to get looped in for the header, which goes over the top. And it looks like we're going to get one of those Jekyll and Hyde performances today where, well, we've not had a shot on target yet. Castro's probably... Oh, he's taking it short. I was going to say Castro's going to have a go at putting this in row Z, but... Castillo now to Castro. I have put Castro on free kick duty. I'm not sure why Castillo took that last one. Maybe it's direct and indirect free kicks. I'm not quite sure. Lucerio, been quite impressed with this young kid. Castillo, ball there to João Victor. Oliveira there has come on for Lamas. And he's quite a good replacement for Lamas, if I'm honest. Whenever I've brought him on or even started him in a game, he always looks very lively, and you can always rely on him to nick a goal for us. And we are 1-0 up, just going into the half-time whistle. So, of course, we're pleased. I think I'm getting my head around this this assistant manager thing now. I mean, again, it's another thing that needs fixing, but I think what it is, I think because we are not a particularly fancy team, in the Brazilian First Division, we're not really expected to do that well. So if we get beat, let's say, I don't know, 3-2, and it's quite a near game, he will say he's delighted or pleased because actually we've done all right, you know, compared to, you know, I mean, it's all relative, isn't it? I mean, it does annoy me when, you know, we get beat 4-0 and he's still pleased. But then I suppose, you know, if you relate the same principle, is that, you know, if we're playing one of the top teams in the Brazilian First Division and the game doesn't really rate our team, then, you know, the game is then going to prompt the assistant manager to say that, actually, we played all right. I know we got beat 3 or 4-0, but we played all right, so he's pleased. And I think that's what it is. I don't think it's anything to do with the assistant manager or how good or bad he is. I think it's just the AI in the game, and it really does need a massive overhaul. Okay, one change at half-time, and Ismail has come on for Castillo. Castillo looking very tired. We have a lot of games to play in short periods of time, so it's not surprising, really. So, 3 minutes into the second half, Yanderson floats the ball in the box, and Oliveira there gets a chance for his second goal, but actually fires it over the top. And I'm sick of seeing that ball go over the top of the bar instead of dipping under it. 9 times out of 10 it will always go over the top of the bar. Okay, 62 minutes, another little change. This is the kind of formation I like to try and play with João Victor, you know, so unencumbered. That's a good word, isn't it? Unencumbered in that shadow striker role. The young kid Diaz has come on, who I've just given a new contract to. He's a 4-star player, young kid looking really, really good, and he's starting to prove his worth now. So we've freed it up a little bit there now. Oliveira's dropped. He's still going to play make. Hopefully he'll still try and get forward. Let's see what we can do. Santos now has just come on as left wing back. And João Victor is going to have a pop. Misses that one, but it is in the back of the net, and Castro picks up the scraps. It's 2-0. I don't think it's going to be enough to go into the second leg with at Gremio's place, because I have seen 3-0 results overturned in second legs. So I'd like to try and get some more, but Castro got a little bit of luck there as well. I think it came off one of the defenders' ankles. 74 minutes, one last change. Both wing-backs have been changed now. I brought Santos on in the previous change, but this time Garcia has come on the right-hand side. So 4 minutes of time added on, and it looks very much like we're going to go into the second leg with a 2-0 lead. But we do have one of these very, very late highlights. Santos plays the ball to Oliveira. Oliveira flicks the ball over the top. Diaz, can he make it through? Yes, he can. And that was a nice, smart finish from the young kid. And, well, 9 times out of 10, it's the word of the well, it's the saying of the game. 9 times out of 10, when we get those highlights, they never work. This time, it did work. Oliveira there, lovely ball over the top. Diaz slides the ball in the back of the net, and we have got that 3-0 lead now going into the second leg. And of course, we are very delighted by that. So I've got a league game now against Atletico Juventus. We'll play that off camera, and we'll be back very shortly for the second leg in the quarter-final of the Brazilian Cup. Well, not a bad little 2-1 win against Juventus. We started the game really badly and they scored first. And I kind of feared the worst, but we came back really strong, made 1 or 2 tweaks to the formation again in game, and it worked a treat. And I have to show you this goal from Fernando. Absolutely stunning goal. So playing in the red kit down this side, the young kid Lucero draws 2 players, plays it to Castillo, to Fernando, and just look at this. I mean, what a goal that was. He didn't hit it hard. He didn't put his laces through it. He just placed it and lobbed it over the keeper. Beautiful goal. So it's as you were in the division. We are still second with that win. Very, very important win, because we're playing on a lot of fronts this season, and we do need to try and keep up that level, and it's not going to be easy. João Victor again picked up another bad injury, 2 to 3 weeks on the sideline. He will miss the games in the Copa tournament now. So again, the game knows what it's doing, doesn't it? It's getting very, very, very frustrating. If I could put another very in there, I would do, because I'm frustrated up to here. These injuries, I mean, I've been playing FM24 all season. If you've watched any of my saves, I've been playing it all season. None of the clubs have ever had injuries on this scale. Never. You might get a few, it might be FM24, you get a lot of injuries, but they're all like maybe 5-6 days, not 3, 4, 5, 6 week injuries. That's all it seems to be in Brazil. It's bonkers. Okay, less of the whinging. Let's get into this second leg of the Brazilian Cup, and it's the quarter-final, and we are 3-0 ahead from the first leg. Okay, a little bit of a changed team today. I am having to rotate my centre-backs because Anderson Hayes came to me and, well, basically he wanted to leave because he wasn't getting any game time. So it's not a bad thing, I'm not against it. I just like, when you get pairings, whether it's central midfield, at the back, whatever, when you get pairings that are working, you get that nice green line between the two. I like to keep it like that. But anyway, Garces is having a rest today, and Segovia and Jesus are going to play centre-backs with Lucero and Rocha as the wing-backs. Obviously, Everson in goal, who kept a clean sheet in the last game. Don't tell anybody. Castillo, Fernando in midfield. Serpa has come on for João Victor. In fact, I am going to need to change because it's going to shout at me and say, oh, you can't have an injured player on the bench. Well, stop injuring them then. Serpa is a shadow striker. Bruno Lamas as the advanced playmaker. Diaz on the wing. And Castro up top. Okay, all we need to do in this game is keep a clean sheet. Oh, me and my big mouth. Oh, Rocha. Nice, 1-0, 4-0 on aggregate. So as I'm speaking there, generally when I open my big mouth, things happen against me. But this time, that was a nice free kick actually. Right to that back stick. Rocha there heads the ball into the back of the net. And well, we're 1-0 ahead. And at this stage, it looks like we're going through to the semi-final of the Brazilian Cup. But let's not take anything for granted. So Grêmio coming away with the ball now down their right-hand side. And they're going to sling this ball in the box. And our keeper needs to be strong here. And to be fair, he made a dive for it. It wasn't very convincing. Fortunately, it hit the post. Just on the half-hour mark, and we're back with a Grêmio free kick that they basically take short. They're just going to try and play this around us, which at the moment they seem fairly capable of doing. Sliding the ball in there. A nice... Oh, we get away with another one. That was a nice clearance in the penalty. Unfortunately, it went straight to a red shirt. Okay, it's JBH just before half-time. And we do get a goal this time. In the last game, or was it the one that the televised, the one on camera, we got the benefit of the JBH highlight. This time the JBH goes to Grêmio. So it is 1-1 on the night, 4-1 on aggregate now. Little change at half time. Castillo, again, he's very tired. Not surprising, he plays every game. So Alisson is a strange player. I did bring him in to be, I think he was a 3.5 star player. Very experienced. I thought this will really beef the midfield up. But he's actually lost a whole star. And the season's only like halfway through. He's only a 2.5 star player now, so he's not really getting an awful lot of game time, but does bring experience into the base of that midfield. Well, with Grêmio having much the better of the game now, they've really come back into it. I feel like they're too far behind to, gain anything from that. But 3 subs, both my wing backs have been changed, and Yanderson has come on. Remember Yanderson, that terrific player? Yeah, since he had that bad injury, he's just not looked the same player. But he comes on as a sub, and well, let's see if we can hold on to this 4-1 lead. 86 minutes, Grêmio get a free kick, which, if that's classed as a highlight, then I'm not quite sure what a highlight means, because that was awful. Okay, Grêmio now just putting a little bit of pressure on at the end of the game, but surely the game is far too far gone now, and they're just playing the ball around, looking for a bit of a consolation, and looked like we might have had a foot on the ball there, but in the end we didn't. And the ball's in the back of the net. Everson dives for it, but as per usual, when Everson has anything to do, he generally doesn't do it. He's not the greatest of keepers at all. I thought he would have been brilliant, but he's the third keeper I've tried. Mateus, Everson, Diego. I just don't seem to be able to keep the ball out of the back of the net. None of my keepers make terrific saves. I watch the opposition in games, and the opposition goalkeepers are tipping the ball over the bar, round the post, and having brilliant games. My keepers never do. Anyway, so it's a 2-1 loss on the night, but a 4-2 aggregate win. And we are into the Brazilian Cup semi-final. And a little bit of money coming in off the back of that, 691,000. So everything is gratefully received. And the semi-final has been drawn, and we're playing Goiás, 2-legged again. Which way around is it this time? So we've got the away leg first and the home leg at second. That is at the beginning of August. So we've got about 4 weeks to go there. So another very nice little episode there. It wasn't a 6-pointer, but the 2-1 loss to Grêmio in that second leg. Well, it wasn't. That win wasn't enough for them to overturn the first leg. And like I say, we do go through to the semi-final. So the win against Juventus, very, very handy indeed. Keeps us second in the league. So I'm not going to play too many games off camera now, just a couple I think, and we will be back for the second round, first leg, the Copa tournament against Talleres, who are a 3.5 star Argentinian club. Can we win that over 2 legs and get through to the next round? Well, you'll have to stick with me, and we'll see you next time.